What's up, everyone? Kaiju no Kami here from the Toku and Animation News Network with
Kralika Kane. Hello.
And we are back for another Kaiju no Kami versus AI installment. This time...
Wait, you called it... I thought you called it Kaiju no Kami versus AI Showdown. Or was that Super Sentai Showdown?
Super Sentai Showdown.
Oh, darn.
So, this one is... Doctor Who...
War Games?
No. Dang it, I don't... Doctor Who discussions.
Wow, that's so sad.
I'll figure it out later.
I wanted something more dramatic.
Well, what do you want?
I don't know. You're making these
Fine.
up.
Doctor Who, I don't know. We're making these up as we go along.
Okay, fine. But... as you've heard, if you've listened to or watched any of our other AI showdowns or AI discussions or AI analogies, I have been pulling up data from one of two AI sources, or both at the same time, depending, ChatGPT or Google Gemini. Because I find it hilarious, since you don't like AI, how you can agree or disagree or hate what comes up. So today, we're going to take a little bit of a break from Super Sentai and discuss Doctor Who. As Doctor Who has been around for 61 years now.
Almost 60. 61 in November.
Well, practically 61 years. I thought it would be fun to go over some of what AI has compiled as the best classic Who stories, to see if you, the extreme connoisseur who has forced me to watch them all, I've enjoyed them though, to see if you agree or disagree. Now this list, I will say, I've gotten from ChatGPT. Happy in future times to run them through Gemini, but right now we're going to start with that. And ChatGPT gave me 8 stories, not episodes, because it's not modern Who, for you to think about. And I am so excited to see how you think of these best and most acclaimed stories. So, number 1.
These are best?
These are best.
Okay.
Best and most acclaimed. That's what it has it listed. Number 1. The Daleks' Invasion of Earth, 1964. It is from season 2, which is William Hartnell.
Yep, which is in my top 10
and
of non-Tom Baker stories.
The Doctor and his companions arrive in a post-apocalyptic Earth under Dalek occupation. I think this is the one where Susan
leaves.
Yes.
Yep, it's a really good episode. One of the best Dalek stories out there. Very well done.
Very well paced, too.
Well paced for being 6?
I think it's 6 episodes.
6 or 7. No, I think it's 6, because I think the first one was 7.
But I also enjoyed kind of the characters. I still think it's funny, though, of how many times they have come off and on that stupid Dalek ship in the story.
I also really like the sequence when they're running through... I don't know what it's called in England, but where you have like the lion statues and you have like that really cool music going as they're just running away from the Daleks, and you just see the Daleks trying to find them, patrol around and everything.
It was a very fascinating story, and having it as like the swan song for Susan, who is the direct family member of the Doctor, was sweet and sad at the same time, because she's a relative compared to the other two just being unintentional companions to start.
They were kidnapped.
So, number 2, also from the 60s. This actually does kind of go in chronological order.
I was going to say...
This is The Tomb of the Cybermen, 1967. Serial 3 of season 5, so it is of Patrick Troughton.
Yep, it's the mummy.
Yes, the Doctor and his companions discover an ancient Cybermen tomb on the planet Telos.
Yeah, because there's 2 mummy-like Doctor Who episodes.
And I think you really like this one.
Oh yeah, I love this. It's a mummy movie with Doctor Who. I mean, it's the exact setup. They go.
Isn't this the one where they're all in the wall?
Yeah, where they're coming out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it has not Mickey. Who were the companions?
Jamie. Jamie and Victoria.
Yes. Do you want to know the third one?
But yeah, that's a really good episode. Really good story as well. Just fantastic. All right.
Are you impressed so far with what AI is coming up with?
Well, we're only on 2.
I like that. You're very hesitant. Number 3. The Day of the Daleks. Serial 3 of Season 9, who is... Pertwee. The Doctor faces the Daleks in the time-traveling plot involving an alternate future.
It's also the story that inspired Chris Claremont to write Days of Future Past.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So this was the inspiration for Days of Future Past?
Yep.
Oh, wow. And this was from 1972, and Days of Future Past was written when?
81?
So, about a decade later, he wrote the X-Men story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I could see that. So, number...
Well...
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, that Day of the Daleks is probably my second or third favorite Pertwee story.
Now, I have been noticing so far a theme about Daleks. Do you think that's because Daleks are in every show, practically? Or do you think they are a great enough Doctor Who monster that it's justified that they're in some of the most acclaimed stories?
Well, I mean, there are a lot of great Dalek episodes. I also do think that there's 3 classic stories. 3 of the best classic stories have them in them.
Mm-hmm.
Because, obviously, Day of the Daleks.
Mm-hmm.
Dalek Invasion. Genesis of the Daleks is one of the greatest Doctor Who stories ever.
Well, we should skip in forward to that. Number 4, 1975's Genesis of the Daleks with which Doctor?
The best.
Which Baker then?
Tom.
And this is the 4th Doctor is sent back in time with Sarah Jane and what was his name? Richard?
Ian Marter's character.
Yeah.
Oh my God! You know, it's funny. I was trying to remember what his character name was yesterday, and I could not remember it.
But they were sent back in time
because he was, even though he was only with them for a season, I thought he was a very underrated companion.
Oh, absolutely!
He did a really great job.
And I can't even remember his name, but I loved it. But they were sent back in time to prevent the creation of the Daleks.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I will say Genesis of the Daleks, and I think this...
Harry!
God, I don't know why I thought Richard, but I don't care. However, this was my favorite. Not my favorite of the Sarah Jane and Tom Doctor stories. I actually like the one where she leaves, but...
Actually, no, this would be my favorite of their stories together.
But the Genesis of the Daleks...
Because this is my 3rd favorite Tom Baker story. The other 2 have Leela in it.
But this is my absolute favorite Dalek story.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Because it plays with so much. Because when they go to Skaro, you don't even know.
It's Skaro.
It's Skaro.
But it also fits in all that was established when they first went to Skaro in the second adventure with Hartnell.
Absolutely.
And it didn't really contradict anything because you never knew about their origins behind how they were actually created. You just knew they existed. And I love that the name of the group that created them was an anagram of Dalek. Because it was Caleb.
Oh, and I love what's his name? The creator.
Oh, Davros?
Davros, he became a caricature of himself in Modern Who.
Well, when they brought him back, he became a joke.
Yeah, but in this serial, he was great.
Oh, he was fantastic, and he was he was the exact opposite of the Doctor. He was just as arrogant as the Doctor, but he was on the spectrum that he didn't care if he killed everyone in the universe.
Mm-hmm. Where the Doctor's goal is always to, except for the season we just watched, is to try to save everyone.
Well, he did try to save everyone. He failed at it.
Badly. All right, number 5. Another Baker, 1976's The Deadly Assassin.
Ooh, Manchurian Candidate of Doctor Who.
The 4th Doctor uncovers a conspiracy on Gallifrey and faces a deadly assassin.
Another solid episode.
Remember, they're called stories, not episodes. Whatever. They have multiple episodes.
Yes. Another solid story. Well, see, when we watch them, we watch the whole story in one. So to me, they're one episode.
I know.
But, yeah, like I said, it's like Manchurian Candidate meets Doctor Who. We also get a really creepy master because he's now has survived.
And was it Anthony at this time too, or
no? This was before Anthony. This was between. That they said, because they said the master had used up his last regeneration.
Oh, what was the actor's name?
Delgado?
No, I know Richard Delgado. I meant
Anthony Ainley?
Anthony Ainley.
Yeah, Ainley's not till he takes over Nissa's dad's body.
Oh.
Because since he doesn't have any regenerations, he finds a way to steal his body.
Oh, yes, that's right.
But we have a Grim Reaper-like master.
Mm-hmm.
We have a really cool scene in The Matrix that makes me think of Metal Gear Solid 3 when you're having your sniper fight with the Quiet? Was it the Quiet?
Don't ask me, because I never played Metal Gear. I've watched you play a bunch of them, but I don't know it enough. All right, do you want to hear number 6?
Okay.
So this is also on a trend.
It better be the Talons of Wang Chiang.
That's cute. It is number 6. It is 1979's story,
City of Death.
City of Death, where the Doctor and Romana investigate a plot involving time travel, which the entire series is time travel, and a priceless painting in Paris.
Okay, well, one. No, City of Death is a great episode.
Wow, are you going to be doing this Kanye moment?
It is a great story, and it's my 10th.
I'm going to let you speak, but
it is my 10th favorite Tom Baker story. But
favorite.
The Talons of Wang Chiang is the greatest Doctor Who story ever made.
Okay, Kanye.
So, no, that would only affect if I paused the video and popped up.
I'm surprised you have never thought about doing that, but
I'm gonna let you finish. But The Talons of Wang Chiang is the greatest Doctor Who story ever.
Do you think the reason why the Talons of Wang Chiang were not included is because the main character was whitewashed?
You mean the Yellowface?
Yellowface, yes. Well, it was Yellowface because it wasn't black and white.
But it's possible. But no, City of Death is a really good story. It's the best, I think, actually the best story of seasons 5, 6, and 7 combined.
Well, this is season 17.
Well,
I know, I'm kidding.
Okay, fine. The best story of seasons 16, 17, 18 combined.
I know. Because this is Lala's Romana.
Yes. Tom Baker's 6th season.
Okay.
It's the only truly outstanding story from the season.
So we're going to skip now past our 4th Doctor love.
Okay.
Because apparently the 4th Doctor has the longest
Better be the
titles.
Caves of Androzani.
Wow, number 7, 1984's The Caves of Androzani. The 5th Doctor faces deadly enemies on a planet involved in a drug trade. This is with Perry?
Yes.
Okay, because I was like, I remember this, but I think we watched it on BritBox.
No, we watched the DVD of it. This is the one with the guy that's kind of like the Phantom of the Opera because he's got a mask on, he falls in love with Perry, and he doesn't want her to see his face because he's scarred underneath because the military had tried to assassinate him and failed. So, because this and the Talons of Wang Chiang, I say, have copied plots from the Phantom of the Opera.
Yes.
But only Wang Chiang didn't have the love aspect. This one has the love aspect, so this one's more Phantom-like. But yeah, that was the best Davison story. And, I mean, rewatching the other Davison seasons, I will say, out of all the original 7 Doctors, Davison is my least favorite, personality-wise, of all the Doctors.
He has a very, like... compared to his older personality that you see in the Behind the Sofas...
He's a good doctor. It's just... he just has the weakest personality for me compared to everyone else.
Well, like what I was saying is when we see him in any of the Behind the Sofa stories, when you get the Blu-ray sets, he has a dry sense of humor. The problem is it doesn't feel like they allowed him to express that dry sense of humor as his doctor.
He's got good one-liners. It's just he's got very tough competition.
Now we're going to go on to number 8. Sadly, we're going to skip the 6th Doctor.
Which, okay, is it... It's obviously a McCoy. It's probably going to be either... Well, I'm going to say it's the Curse of Fenric. Really? That's not on the list? So I'm assuming the Greatest Show in the Galaxy and Happiness Patrol. So is it going to be the Dalek one?
Number 8, 1988, Remembrance of the Daleks. From season 25, the 7th Doctor returns to the 1960s London to face the Daleks once again. I think this is a story where we also find out Ace's mom.
No, that's Curse of Fenric.
Oh!
No, this is the one where We've only watched it the one time because we haven't watched it. But that's the one, yeah, where he lands in 1963.
But it is with Ace, though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They go to meet this guy to pick up the Hand of Omega or whatever it was, and the guy says, "Oh, I was expecting someone much older because it was originally supposed to be Hartnell's doctor because that's the same time frame." When Hartnell's doctor was there to stop this Dalek thing from happening.
Oh, yeah.
And then he took off with Ian and Barbara, so he never actually picked up the Hand of Omega like he was supposed to.
And they pronounced it Omega, right?
Well, yeah, something like that.
It almost always sounded like they were saying, "Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my God, he's coming at us. Oh my God, look at all the Royce Krispies on his face."
But yes, Remembrance of the Daleks. This is why I kind of felt like of what the AI is showing me, there's a heavy feel of, "We love the Daleks! Rah, rah, rah!"
I don't remember. I like that story, but it wouldn't be one of my favorites. If I recall, that was the first time the Dalek went up the stairs. Because Ace was all like, "Yeah!" And then it just goes...
Oh, yes! Which was fucking hilarious! But... I personally, like, if I was going to be choosing a favorite story from McCoy, to me, it would be the Happiness Patrol. Especially because they had the whole cannibal subplot with it that was just so out of left field, but enjoyable at the same time.
Well, all three, Happiness Patrol, Curse of Fenric, and Greatest Show in the Galaxy. I think Fenric was my favorite of the three. But then I keep flip-flopping between Happiness Patrol and Greatest Show in the Galaxy. Because they're all such great stories that it's like, I don't know which one I really like more. It depends on my mood at that time. Am I feeling happy? Okay, Happiness Patrol.
So you can take down your happiness by 10 notches? That's a social commentary story
all I know is I also made me think of, because we ended up watching, after that one video game was revealed, We Happy Few.
Yes.
Where they're all like...
Oh, God, I know. And I got such feels from that. So, what other...
Oh, I thought it was a top 10.
No, I said top 8.
Oh, okay.
So what other Doctor Who stories do you feel should have been on this list? Outside of the talents of Wang Chiang.
War Games.
Yes, I actually think War Games, truthfully, between this and the Tomb of the Cybermen, I probably would have went with War Games.
I love Tomb of the Cybermen, but yeah, War Games I think is the best Troughton story. The Green Death,
which is
Pertwee,
yes.
which was Joe's final one, but that was also the environmental message one.
But that was such a well done environmental message.
It's just like the Sunmakers was a well done message on capitalism, and the Happiness Patrol is a well done message on Thatcher.
Oh God, yeah. And what our presidential election will look like if someone was elected again.
But so War Games, Green Death. Either.
I'm surprised the one that we had resurface again.
Pyramids of Mars?
Pyramids of Mars was not on this list.
That, or even The Robots of Death. Davison, they picked that one was spot on. Because that is his best story.
Now, if you had to pick one from Colin Baker, the Sixth Doctor, what would it be? I did like the one where they're on that, when we first meet, God, I can't remember her name, when she was trying to exercise and they're on that ship.
Oh, Mel.
Mel.
Yeah, I do, the Terror of the Vervoid.
Yes.
That one I love for Colin Baker, and I actually do like Revelation of the Daleks. Because that whole mortuary place is kind of interesting, especially the second time we watched it, compared to the first. So those would be the toss-up between my two favorite Colin Baker ones.
So, outside of that, do you think AI did a good job? I know number 8 was a little...
Except for not having the talons of Wing Chiang.
Oh my God, get over it.
They did a pretty solid pick overall. The hard part is, I mean, there are 59 Doctor Who stories to choose from. So, there is a lot to pick and choose, and there are so many good ones.
Oh, absolutely.
Because the other hard part is, like, Tom Baker's first 3 seasons are the top seasons for me entirely for Doctor Who. So that's why when I did my top 10, I have to do a Tom Baker list on his own. And
otherwise...
because the whole list would be dominated by Tom Baker.
Well, of 8 selections, 3 of them are Baker alone, or Tom Baker alone, and everybody else gets one.
It's partial. I mean, yeah, part of it is because he did have the most seasons of everyone. He does have the most episodes to stand out. Because he's got... I mean, Pertwee did 5 seasons, but he's got... Tom Baker has enough to cover 2.5 Doctors' run of material.
Well, I think the other challenge for 2 of our classic Doctors, Hartnell and Troughton, a lot of their stories are either incomplete or lost because of...
Well, that's cut down now.
Well, yeah, but even with this, when it's pulling from everybody's opinions, if they have not seen those stories from Hartnell or Troughton, they can't really relate. So, our next episode, I will decide, do you want to keep on the run with the most acclaimed for Modern Who?
Well, let's do the worst Doctor Who ones next.
For Classic? Oh, you poor man. All right, well, that's what we're going to be doing next via AI.
Click like, subscribe, the bell notification, whatever else YouTube has, you click in to support us. You can support us on Patreon, Discord, Patreon, and Bluesky, Toku AAN Network, Facebook, Instagram, Discord at Kaiju no Kami. My website is creativitybydesignllc.com. You can also buy cool Kaiju no Kami merchandise at creativitybydesignllc.com/shop. There's also a link in the description below. And tell us what you think of this Doctor Who list. Obviously, I've done my top 10 videos in the past that we've talked about it. But what do you think about this updated list? Let us know. And until next time,
Bye.